it's Sarah McCumsey here, the Director of Operations at the Robin Group. We talked to you about how a Kanban works for your operation team. Now, I want to show you where it originally started with us for our agents as a visual, because they're very visual people, right? So what we started doing is the life of a client, really, from when you get the appointment to when they sign with you to when they get under contract, and then they move to our client for life. So hopefully your agents know exactly how many appointments they have to get, how many buyers or listings they need signed, how many they need under contract, and how many they need closed in order to reach their goals for the year. And if you're like us, we use CTE, so we actually know the seasonality of all those things. So I'll start with my first board for my agents. This is the agents board broken up into months. January, February, March is what we're in now, and each agent has a specific color pin assigned to them. So we start off, we give them one pin for every appointment they should take during the month, or every appointment they should set. So let's pretend that I'll go with Lori, one of my buyer's agents. Let's say Lori gets one of her appointments. So her pin comes off, and she actually writes the client's name on one of her, and see the pin matches the note card. So she'll write the client's name that she's got them to sign a buyer agency agreement, and she'll put them in March. Now, let's say, which is in Lori's case, you only see one, right? But she's hit a lot more of her goals. That's because this girl is on fire, and as soon as they are signing an agency agreement with her, they're automatically moving under contract. So you see what happened? This little pin went from an appointment that needed to be set to a buyer that signed with us in March. My listing agent doesn't follow directions. That's another story. So in March, that client went from just a signed client, and then as soon as she wrote a contract on them, she got to move them over here. And they'll hang out in our under contract board until they move over here, which is our closed board. So at any given time, I can look and see how many, of course, we've got the other systems, but this is just a visual of how many clients are under contract right now at the moment. And that's a lot. So, and you can see, because it's color coded, a quick glance at what agents have what under contract.
And how much money is hanging out.
Yeah, and then also something else too, if we're having a tough time and they're not meeting their goals, we'll come over here and we'll say, hey, you did the hard work of setting the appointment and getting them to sign the agreement. Look at all the money that's hanging out of these people that have agreed to work with you, yet we haven't gotten them under contract, and why not? So it helps set, it's not only a good visual for the agents, but it helps to have those conversations and for them to see, oh my God, this person signed with me, back in January. Why have they not written yet? And it's different reasons. Some of these people are actually, this person in particular is a listing that we have that just hasn't sold yet. So maybe our listing agent needs to have better conversations of doing those price reductions, so this person turns into 2 closed contracts. We have them on the listing side and the buy side. So moving back to under contract, we can see, how many at one time we have under contract, and then the agent's favorite part. Now, I have to tell you, they're not very good at remembering to move their button from appointments to maybe buy or sign, but what they do 110% of the time is they will write the person and make sure that that person goes in their monthly block. So if you look and see, our awesome director of marketing actually photoshopped the agents' heads on these little horses, and we left some space for our growth this year for other agents. And what we did based on seasonality, we said, okay, what do the agents need to close every month in order to reach their goals at the end of the year? And then we wrote that down on here. I'll give you an example. So in January, Lori needed 2 to close, and her people, she got these 2 to close. In February, she needed 2 to close. And in March, she needs 4 to close. Well, she's already got 3, and she's halfway through to March. I just noticed somebody drew on her face. That's funny. Okay, so, but this will give you, and they're all in a race, right? So hopefully these people will be meeting their goals getting these under contract so before the year even ends or closed, that way they can, take off and October, November, December, you've already met your closed units for the year, and the rest is just land yap. So if you have any questions about how our Kanban for agents work, please feel free to shoot us an email, and I'll be happy to explain further. But I appreciate you taking the time to watch us today. And if you have any referrals in Louisiana, I promise we'll get them on the board. Send them our way.